The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately sick. Who can understand it? Jeremiah 17:9. Chapter 1. Layers of Lies. I've got layers of lies I don't even know about. Sarah Groves, Eyes Wide Open. My name is Dee, and I am an idolater. For most of my Christian life, I didn't know I was an idolater. I certainly didn't worship statues. I loved the one true God. But I have come face to face with my naivete. I now know I have what Ezekiel calls idols of the heart. Let me tell you my story. Stones in our hearts. All I knew was that I was having trouble keeping an administrative assistant. I couldn't understand it. Wasn't I a warm and caring boss? I never yelled or made unreasonable demands. Why didn't they appreciate what they had? The work was meaningful, the travel exciting, the pay good, and the boss encouraging. So what was the matter? Since it took a good year to learn the complexities of the position, I would hire only someone who expressed a desire to work in the ministry long term. Yet invariably, after just 2 or 3 years, my assistant would have a change of heart about being involved long term and resign. When my 4th administrative assistant resigned, I lamented to my friend, Jan Silvius, expecting a sympathetic ear. Instead, she arched an eyebrow, peered at me through her funky rhinestone glasses, and said, "Dee, this seems to be a pattern in your life." What? Was she implying that I was the problem? That was a wake-up call for me. I had deceived myself about the darkness lurking in my heart. I told myself I was a good boss, but I wasn't. All along, I had felt I was serving God. I was puzzled. Why am I not experiencing more of the promised joy? Why do my assistants keep leaving? In other words, before I became aware of my idolatry, I became aware of the symptoms, telling me that something was not right. As I would discover, I had idols in my heart that were blocking my intimacy with God, bringing friction in key relationships, and destroying my joy. Yet, because soul idols are invisible, I didn't even know they were there. Any time our deepest desire is for something other than God, because we think that will satisfy or rescue us, a dangerous soul idol is forming. We may idolize the approval of people, our own comfort, or maintaining control. All of these things can become idol lies, things we value more than God. We cling to these idols, and in so doing, as Jonah said, we forfeit the grace that could be ours. See Jonah 2:8, NIV. The scriptural truth on which this book is based has had an enormous impact on my own life and gives me a passion for you to know it too. I have tested the truth in pilot groups, and the results in women's lives are nothing less than astounding. Though many of these women are mature believers, a light is going on that has been off all of their Christian lives. They are being delivered from anxiety, depression, gluttony, and so many destructive behaviors and emotions. Let me share with you an image that has been helpful to these women and to me on this journey. Soul idolatry is like cancer, especially the silent cancers. My husband did not know he had a tumor in his colon, but he did know that his stomach was often upset and that he felt unusually tired. He told me that he might have an ulcer and that he would check that out. But he believed that he really just needed a good vacation. He did not know a malignant tumor was in his body, growing, destroying, that it would take him from our 5 children and me in his prime. Tumors are hard lumps like stones. What is so frightening about them is that, left unchecked, they grow. The sooner we discover them, the better our chance of rescue. And God is on the move, uncovering these hidden stones in our hearts and chiseling them down. I call Jesus the stone cutter because he can reveal, remove, and replace our heart idols with himself. Jan's comment about the pattern in my life helped me see my stone, my calcifying tumor. I wanted this malignancy out so badly that I submitted to the work of the stone cutter. And though the surgery was hard, my color is coming back and I see a radical difference in my relationships. I am experiencing the healing that comes after a successful surgery, when a foreign body is removed and living flesh can thrive again. Jesus, the stone cutter, can transform your life as well. Every believer needs to be set free, and it begins with getting past our denial, with seeing what we really idolize, and admitting this to God and to others. We may think, for example, that our deepest desire is for God, but in reality, we're running to food, friendship, or Facebook to fill up our souls. We may think that our identity is in Christ, but in reality, it may be in the success of our ministry, mothering, or marriage. Just as the only hope an alcoholic has of being set free is seeing and confessing his real problem, so it is with us. And so I stand before you and confess. My name is Dee, and I am an idolater.